I know the leagues. I know the teams. I know these players. I know this wonderful game called football.
Welcome to the Money Line, presented by Pro Football Debate and Bet Openly, the official sportsbook sponsor of the Money Line. We're coming to you week 6, Thursday night going on right now. We got Kansas City playing Denver. Not much going on there, so let's just get into our picks. But I think if you want to start with a little bit of a recap last week, we can skip my portion, go right to yours if you want.
Yeah, 2-1 on my end. Steelers and Falcons covered. Titans couldn't get it done against Indy, which is okay. 2-1, move the chains. Looking forward to talking about this week and sharing some more picks.
Yeah, obviously I had my worst week so far. I was hot for the first couple weeks there, but it's all right. We'll bounce back. Overall record still sitting at 14-9-2, so still very much in the positive. So let's keep the momentum going, and I'm good if you're good. We'll get right into it and start picking some winners.
Let's do it.
All right. Yeah, first stop. Let's go to England. Ravens -4, Titans +4. What do you like there?
Yeah, I think if I had to pick a side, I'm probably on the Ravens. We talk about it kind of week over week with these international games. Favorites do pretty well against the spread there. However, I'm not like super confident. It's not going to be a play I give out or something I'm leaning towards for Circa. But yeah, I think I trust the Ravens to move the ball offensively against that Titan defense, which is pretty bad against the pass. The Ravens can't have the drops they did last week like they did against Pittsburgh. I would take Ravens -4, but I'm not, not like super confident in the play.
All right. So, yeah, usually we're good for about 4 or 5 games, together before we start going against each other. But I'm actually going to take Tennessee plus the 4.
Okay.
Yeah, we always talk about Vrabel in the underdog spot, specifically in 3 to 4. I think he's 2 for 3 this year, so we're going to keep that trend going. Play that. I've personally done pretty well picking the London games, so we're going to go for a 3 out of 3, and I'm going to take Titans plus the points.
Okay, let's do it.
I think we're pretty much in line with the next one. Possibly a circle play. Let me know where you're feeling on that. But I got Commanders +2.5 at Atlanta. Anything you see there?
Yeah, I like Atlanta in the spot. They're a team that seemingly has gotten better week over week. They can control tempo with running the football. I think Washington's bottom 10 defensively against the run, which is obviously one of Atlanta's strengths. And I feel like their defense is still underrated in Atlanta. I should be able to maybe force some turnovers on Howell. Playing the devil's advocate here, you have Washington coming off a really bad loss to Chicago, extra rest going into Sunday. But we're under the key number of 3. I think, Atlanta -2.5 is a play that I'm pretty confident in.
Yeah, same. I like Atlanta. I like that number, the key number of 2.5. I think, with Koo being one of the best kickers in the league, if it's a tie game and they even get within reason in a dome, he can definitely let one go and has a chance to win. I actually like them. If you take the points away, Atlanta right now on the money line is only $1.35. So that's actually that might be the safer play right there, just squeaking out a win.
Yep.
But yeah, I definitely agree. I like Atlanta to win. I like them to cover too. I think we talked possibly a circle play right there, which I'm okay with. But I'll even take them to win if you don't want to lay the 2.5. You're still getting good value
For sure.
at minus $1.35. So Vikings at Bears. Bears getting 3 at home. I mean, what do you see there? Justin Jefferson obviously out. Bears coming off. I'm gonna say this very sarcastically, but a big win.
Yep.
Which they did need, but Moore kind of finding a spot. He balled out last week. So where are you at there?
Yeah, this is a game I'm going to stay away from. The total seems low. I haven't checked weather in Chicago. But to your point, yeah, JJ out. Probably a lot of targets for Jordan Addison. Expect him to have 80 to 100 yards, if not more. Line doesn't quite make sense. Both defenses are terrible. I thought it could be closer to a pick 'em, which is where I would probably take Chicago plus 3 points. But yeah, it's a game that I'm probably going to stay away from. Just 2 bad teams. Let them figure it out. End in a 24-24 tie.
Yeah, so I'm actually I think you said you kind of lean. I'm actually on the Bears. Give me the +3. I think like you said, I think we're getting a couple points there. I would basically put this at pick 'em too. maybe even a point and a half. But yeah, if you're going to give me the extra point and a half or give me the 3 points where I think it should be at, then 100% I'm taking the Bears plus the 3. So I'm actually going to give that as a play. It's
Nice.
bad, as bad as I really don't want to, but I'm ready to get hurt again.
That's okay.
Now this is a weird one, and you told me where you were at. This is one I'm staying off of, but you got the Seahawks plus 2.5 at Cincy. Where are you at there?
Yeah, I still don't think Cincy is very good. Their wins haven't been impressive by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, they beat Arizona last week. I don't know if they figured it out yet or not. Burrow still isn't healthy. I kind of like Seattle coming off the bye against that defense. Should be able to run the football. Geno looks good. DK Metcalf is good. I saw DK hyping up their corner Witherspoon to shut down Jamar Chase this week. We'll see if that happens, but some already chatter in the media and stuff. So tension's going to be running high, but I do like Geno as a slight dog here in the Seahawks.
Yeah, I kind of told you I don't really have any really opinion on this one. I know you've done well hitting on Seattle this year. What do you think about them as a moneyline sprinkle at plus 130?
Yeah, I'm not opposed to it. Like I said, Bengals haven't played well all year. Obviously, the record indicates as such. Their wins haven't been impressive. They got their first cover of the season last week against Arizona, which again, not great. Burrow 2-6-1 ATS his last 9 starts. Again, Seattle off a bye, rested, have had 2 weeks to game plan for the Cincy offense. I like Seattle a lot here.
Yeah, and minus a couple of, I know Arizona's been, kind of pesky, but minus a couple late turnovers. Arizona really had all the momentum and all the chances in the world to backdoor and cover that one last week. Yep. So I know since he kind of ran away with it late, but if you're watching, Arizona did what they're kind of doing, hung around, and I think as easily could have failing the turnovers, as easily could have backdoored that as well as, kind of let it get away from them.
No doubt.
All right, we got 49ers minus 7.5. Cleveland, no doubt San Francisco is the best team in the NFL right now. I don't even know if they even have a weak spot there. No. At 7.5, slightly over a touchdown. Where are you at?
Yeah, I think the line has moved to 9.5. So I definitely, in the contest, and if you can find a good number, I think the line opened at 5 or 5.5. Seemed weird. But then with Deshaun Watson out and PJ Walker starting at quarterback this week for Cleveland, the line's jumped to 9.5. So contest wise, it might make sense for us to take San Francisco minus 7.5, get that 2 points of closing line value. But as far as a wager that I'm going to play outside the contest, I don't think so.
Yeah, and this is where we kind of stress that whole closing line value, and I think the Jets the week before we were there, we were able to get 2.5 points. So this is what we're really big on, especially when you look at the contest lines, because they do come out Thursdays in the afternoon. So we do get a couple days locked in advance, but this is where we really try to we really lean on as far as the strategy goes is finding those. So yeah, if you can find any help your way, I'd like the 49ers again. Made for a contest at 7.5, but yeah, anything higher than that going, especially with that Cleveland Brown defense at home, kind of a stay away from me too.
Yeah, and if you have weather in Cleveland too, I haven't checked the report, but any weather there is going to be a difference maker as well, make the game a little more competitive.
Yeah, let me see if I can find the total real quick. I have to assume that it's going to be windy because that total is 36.
Yeah, that's super low total.
So if you're talking about, we always, again, go back to system plays, low totals, usually are closer games.
Yep.
Maybe the 7.5 could be an 8-point game or a 10-point game, but anything more than that, I understand.
Yep.
Don't want to risk it. Too many variables. Saints -2 at Houston, +2.
Yeah, I kind of like Houston in the spot. I think it's a buy low on Houston, sell high on New Orleans. New Orleans spanked New England last week. And Houston, I think, has been pretty solid all year. They struggled week 1 against Baltimore to score points, but Stroud's arguably the rookie of the year so far. I think he might be the odds-on favorite right now. They're getting a lot defensively. Could have won maybe 1 or 2 more games already this year. I do like them to beat New Orleans this week at home. Carr, just some stats on him on the road, 20-31-2 ATS. He's the least profitable quarterback on the road since 2017. And I like what they're doing in Houston right now. They find ways to move the football. Stroud's covered his last 3 starts after starting the first 2 games 0-2 ATS. So give me Houston plus the points. I'm going money line probably as well.
Yeah, I was just gonna say they're a slight dog on the money line at plus $1.05. Total 42. So again, maybe like a lower total, which generally, again, we talk about keeps it close. So I like Houston too there. No, that's a good play at home. I know you're on the road team here, Colts +4 at Jacksonville. What do you like about that?
Yeah, this is already the second time they're playing. They played week 1. They kept it pretty tight in Indy. I think Jacksonville ended up covering. Minshew was unable to convert on 3rd and 4th down late to get the backdoor cover. I feel as though Indy plays Jacksonville tight no matter what. And then this, like I said, this is game 2 of the division kind of head-to-head. Getting 4 points. I like Indy a lot in this spot. Their ability to run the football with Zach Moss, Jonathan Taylor, this is his 2nd week back, should be able to, move the chains quite often. Minshew's as good of a backup as you'll find in the NFL. Not worried about him there. And then you also have Jacksonville coming off 2 weeks in London. Are they a bit hungover? Coming off a big win against Buffalo. Again,
it's a good letdown spot.
Yeah, it's a perfect letdown spot. And you have a divisional dog coming in. Give me the +4.
Well, it's kind of funny because I didn't get a chance to really interject, but you kind of hit what I was going to touch on. Is
sorry,
Minshew really buys into his role though, so I think that's huge for the teams that he does play with.
Yep.
And Moss has been absolutely massive this year in his role coming in. There's a lot of question marks, but I picked him up in fantasy. I think like week 2, and he's done well for me. He's balled out. So. Yep. I like that. Like you said, it's a great kind of letdown spot if you want to call it that, even though it's a divisional game. But yeah, Jags with a huge win last week, a little bit of a hangover. I definitely like Colts getting more than a field goal there.
Nice.
Double-digit point spread. Take away the Thursday, our first one of the week. We got Panthers plus 13.5, so just under 2 TDs. At Miami, minus 13.5. You want to lead double digits?
No, I'm not touching it.
Both them went last week.
I know. I'm always tentative when it comes to double-digit point spreads in the NFL. And this is a game, I'm going to say the same thing. Like, I'm comfortable with Miami and Survivor. I'm not comfortable laying 13.5, even though, they have the ability to score 50 points every week. And Carolina certainly can give that up. But yeah, at some point, Carolina is going to find, a way to be competitive in a game they're not supposed to be. And this very well could be it.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I don't want to play this game because I think the Panthers are going to have that. It's the NFL, like there's going to be a game where there's going to be a huge upset. And it's kind of brewing in the next couple weeks. And Dolphins are really square play with the public. There's got to be some regression there in the next couple weeks. I don't want it to be this week. And as easy as that seems with Miami's offense, I definitely I don't want to go up against scratch your head in the third quarter going like, what the heck's going on here? It's a stay away from me. And hopefully at least Miami's offense can keep buzzing, and it should be fun to watch them run around.
Yeah. Right now I'm seeing on a site we use, Miami is getting 87% of the bets, 92% of the money on the minus 13.5. So,
again, if you want to talk about the oldest system, the most profitable over time, the fade the public, all metrics say that's a pretty good spot. But again, I don't know if you want to go up against this Miami offense right now at home because they are buzzing and they are just, they're dangerous.
For sure.
All right. Lions minus 3.5, Bucks plus 3.5. I like the hook there. Give me the Bucks at home.
Yeah, I like the Bucks in the spot. The line's down to 3, so getting a half-point closing line value. I feel like Tampa should be able to compete at both lines of scrimmage for the first time that the Lions have really faced since Kansas City probably. I do like Tampa in the spot a lot. Baker will find a way to compete. They'll battle to the very end. And I could see, Detroit covering or winning by 3 points, Tampa covering the spread, or Tampa potentially surprising some people and winning this game outright.
Yep, with you there. Next game, we haven't really talked about this one, me and you. Patriots getting 3 at LA. Anything?
No thanks.
Yeah, nothing there.
No, just think about how bad the coaches are in the AFC West, with the exception of Andy Reid. You have kind of teacher versus student here with Belichick and McDaniels. I just don't trust either team. Like, the Raiders look better. They played well on Monday night, but I just don't see how New England can get any worse. Like, they're coming off the 2 worst losses in Belichick's career, back to back. I think Mac Jones has been said to start on Sunday, so I don't know if that's good or bad. Probably
I would
bad.
actually probably entertain this if Zappy was getting the nod.
Really?
I mean, I might. Okay, so when they got absolutely throttled by Dallas, my rationale for taking them last week was they have a good bounce back spot here. You know, they're not. They just came off Belichick's worst loss, and he followed that up by his second worst loss.
Right.
So, I mean, eventually, I think they got to keep it close. But yeah, I was really high on Mac Jones when he was in the league and re-entered the league, and it's just not there. And I know that they're talking about, they want to stick with him, but Zappy came in last year and performed well for them.
Yep.
And I think he was even covering, which for us is more important. So, you don't necessarily win the game, but cover the number that we like. And I've already seen mock drafts with New England going after a QB in the first round next. So, if Mac's going to get the start, I'm good on that. And doesn't mean I necessarily want to fade them, but I just don't want to bet into them.
Yep, 100%.
Touchdown here, Cardinals getting 7 versus LA.
I would lean LA here, but probably a game I'm going to stay away from. I just don't. I mean, LA has played well pretty much all year. This is Cooper Kupp's second game back. Could have covered last week against Philly late. Didn't convert to score a touchdown. Second game back with Kupp. Him and Puka are probably 2 of the best, or one of the best wide receiver tandems right now in the NFL. Just by terms of availability, both are healthy, knock on wood. The best ability is availability. And Arizona, they're fighting week over week. At some point, I know they didn't cover last week against Cincy, but what you touched on earlier was they fought to the end, had a chance to the back door. I'm on probably the Rams, but not comfortable playing it.
Yeah, and I think I know we talked about this maybe week 2 or 3. Isn't McVay pretty good against the divisional opponents? I think when they were going to Seattle, actually, it might have been week 1.
Yeah, he's good against everyone except for Shanahan. I feel like I don't have numbers off the top of my head, but in division, he's against the Cardinals, 10-2-1 ATS.
Yeah, so I would probably lean Rams there, but again, Arizona's pesky. They won't go away.
Yep.
And for them to stay, I hate to say it because at the professional level, but for them to stay in games, it's almost like moral victories. So especially when they're not blind to what everybody was saying about them. You look at their win total of 3.5 or whatever it was, depending on what you got. I think they fight till the end. So yep. I'm good on missing that one, skipping that one. Even though it's actually not a terrible number at the 7.
Mm-hmm.
So same spread. Eagles -7, Jets +7.
Give me the Jets.
I know that's going to probably ruffle some feathers here, especially with Philly coming off the cover last week against LA. But talk us through it. I'm with you. I'm with you 100%. So I know we talked earlier in the week. Kind of tell everybody where we were at mentally with this one.
We're mentally insane. No, I think the Jets are better week over week. I know they haven't had the toughest opponents like last week. They beat up on Denver a little bit. As they should have, but I just don't. Phillies again. There has to be a letdown spot at some point. They've been running through pretty well, with the exception of that game against Washington. They're a team that I think we say it week over week when Hurts is on the road, but he has, since coming to the league, he has the worst ATS record of any quarterback. And I know that that's not just a quarterback stat or record, but. I like the Jets defense here. I think the defense needs to play better than they have. It's an opportunity for them to show out. And I like the home dog here, +7.
Same. Yep. I know we talked about that, so I don't need to hammer that one home anymore. Going Sunday night here, our last double-digit point spread here. Yep. Giants getting 14.5. I don't even know who's going to be walking out of the tunnel. I saw the injury report yesterday. You might have been on it. Everybody that was on it is just, I don't even know who they're going to march out there. And this could get ugly, or again, it could be a primetime game, and primetime games are kind of funny.
Yeah, I'm staying away. far away. Like again,
It's a big number.
Buffalo may be okay for Survivor. 14 and a half, huge number. I'm not comfortable laying it with Buffalo, nor am I comfortable taking it with the Giants. Tyrod Taylor, I think, might get the start. So I just can't see myself taking either side right now.
Yeah, a lot of unknowns, and I love a good team coming off of a bad loss, which I got, the Bills fit the mold there.
Yeah.
But 14 and a half is, that's a huge number in the NFL. I'm not even going to mess with that. Like if anybody wants to just hope that they run it up, hey, have fun, but I'm good on that.
Yeah, same.
Monday night, you got home team getting points prime time, Chargers plus 2.5 against Dallas.
Yeah, I probably gonna stay away. Just hopefully it's a shootout and we can watch, be entertained. I just don't feel comfortable either side. My heart tells me Chargers, but I mean, if you look at Dallas's wins, right? Like they beat up on the Giants, the Jets, and the Patriots. They've lost to the Niners. I mean, more than lost. They got absolutely spanked. And then they
same thing for Arizona too.
Yeah. And then Arizona too. So I don't know what Dallas team is going to show up. I feel like Diggs, I didn't think he was as big of a loss. Not to say anything like negative about him, but I thought they'd be able to kind of fill that gap a little bit better. And I didn't realize how much of a leader he was on the defense. So they're vulnerable defensively. I've seen a ton of stuff on social this week about CeeDee Lamb. So, yeah. And then the Chargers coming off a bye. Eckler's supposed to be back.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so again, probably going to be a lot of points. Hopefully there is. I just can't pick a side in either game. Might be something in play.
You don't want to depend on the Chargers, being one of the most consistent teams in the NFL?
I don't. No.
No, because they're probably the most inconsistent. I guess the only good thing is on Monday it'll give me hopefully it's a shootout like you said, so I can keep gaining some ground on my Herbert MVP ticket, because at this point the Chargers are one of the tougher teams I think in the NFL handicap, because they are so hot and cold. So I just like to sit back and hopefully we got a couple slips out there that we can hopefully get some value on week after week.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. Like you want to play on them because of their offense, but then you want to fade them because of their defense. It's a mind. I don't know. It's a cluster every week.
Well, yeah, and I hate to say it because I know you're holding the ticket, but you don't like Staley's like Dan Camelback. They're like, you don't know what he's gonna do, man. Like, there's no rhyme or reason. It's just it's if anything, it's just water cooler talk the next day. I'm like, what were you thinking?
It's not good, Brian.
No, not at all, dude. I'm right there with you, man.
Okay.
All right, what do we got for Survivor picks? Where you at?
It's Miami or Buffalo in the Survivor that we're in. Yeah, I mean, I haven't looked much at like
what about
traditional
LA in
format.
Spot?
Yeah, I like LA too. We talked about McVay
kind of
against the
a fade
spread,
of cards.
and if you're a 7-point favorite
at home.
with McVay at home and Stafford, should be a true home game. I'm open to LA for sure.
Okay, cool. All right, I think let's just get right into our picks here. I know you have a couple NFL. You've been pretty hot on the college games. You got like one or two you want to throw out? I know we don't talk college ever really, but is there anything you like that you want to toss out there?
Sure. Yeah. Hit a few already this week. Just hit on Houston +3, I believe. I hold your nose. Don't watch it. Just come back to me when the game is final. Michigan State +5.5. I think that line has come down to 4.5. It might have 5 in some spots, but super stinky. More so like fade of Rutgers than a play on Michigan State. But Michigan State coming off a bye, they kind of have to get their crap together just because Michigan comes to town next week. It's I don't want to say a must win. It's also a can't lose. They have to find a way. And new quarterback coming in with Hauser. Noah Kim's going to the bench, at least that's what we've been told. So yeah, they've had a week and a half, 2 weeks of practice with Hauser at quarterback. I like them +5.5. Again, I'd play it down to 4.5. Just get through that key number. A couple other plays I like in probably the best matchup of the week, Washington, Oregon. Give me Washington -2.5. I locked that earlier in the week. I just feel like their offense at home, especially, is going to find ways to score points. It could be a situation where, just like Texas, Oklahoma last week, where you have whoever has the ball last is going to win. But I do like Washington in the spot. Penix, the wide receivers are NFL receivers. He's got at least 2, if not 3. Defense is suspect, and they're going to give up points inevitably. But in a track race, give me Washington for sure.
Well, and Penix jumped Caleb over the Heisman odds too. So if he goes out there and gets a signature win like this, I mean, his stock is going to fly. So, I expect him to have a big game. I'm actually with you on that play.
Yeah, and then Notre Dame USC will be a good one too. Don't really have a side on that one. Hopefully it's entertaining. Might do something in play, but to your point, like if it's a 2-horse race right now between Caleb and Penix, both guys got to show out on Saturday.
Yeah, I heard some of the personalities that we listened to were on Notre Dame. I don't know if I can really trust them, to be honest with you. Kind of a stay away. Hopefully it's a good game. Obviously it's a very old rivalry. So if anything, it should be a good TV. And let's get right into NFL. You want to go, or you want me to spit mine? What do you want to do
here? Go ahead. You can bat lead off.
All right. I'm going to keep the streak hot in London. I'm going to take, I told you guys earlier, Tennessee plus the 4. We talked about Falcons. I'm going to steal that one. I don't know if that was on your play, but you've given out enough already, so I'm going to take that one for sure. I looked them on the money line or the 2.5. I guess to be safe, I'll give them the money line at, like you said, it was like $1.35, but I do like them up to the 2.5. And then give me, again, this is going to be a sneaky play here, but give me the Bears plus 3.
Okay. I like it. My 3 plays this week, I'm taking all dogs. I'm going Jets plus 7 at home against Philly, Tampa Bay at home plus 3.5 against Detroit, and then the Colts on the road in Jacksonville plus 4 in that divisional rematch from week 1.
Love it. So other than that, maybe we'll do a recap show. Maybe not next week. Who knows? We kind of getting health bound on the Tuesdays, but we didn't do one last week. I can only go and beat myself up so much. So other than that, man, let's pick some winners and cash some tickets.
Yep. Sounds good. Take care, guys.